Welcome to Trips Poker, a new, fun, fast-paced form of poker with no pressure. Players just need to make a 3-card poker hand with their dealt hole card and 2 communal cards known as the flop and turn. The optional side bet is for the communal cards being paired or a 3 of a kind with the player's hole card. A pair pays 10 to 1. A pair of aces pays 30 to 1. 3 of a kind 75 to 1. And 3 aces 200 to 1. To start the hand, players place an ante and optional side bet. Players then receive their hole card and the 2 communal cards with the flop face up. Players now check their hole card and decide to play the hand by placing a turn bet equal to the ante, or they can fold. The dealer will now reveal the turn card, and this completes stage 1 of the hand. Now for the trips twist. Players have the opportunity to place a river bet, which creates a second 3-card poker hand. The river card must be used in the second hand. The dealer now reveals the player's hole card and will pay the side bet. The pair is 10 to 1. Here comes the player's river card to make their second hand. And now the payout. The first hand, the player has a pair of 10s, receives even money on the turn and even money on the ante. The second hand, using the river card, the player's made a straight, 8, 9, 10, and that receives 4 to 1. The player won twice in the one hand. Let's play a couple of hands. Players start by placing an ante and optional side bet. Each player will now receive their hole card dealt face down and the 2 communal cards known as the turn and flop. The dealer will now expose the flop. Players get to check their cards to see if they'd like to play by placing a turn bet or fold. The dealer will now expose the turn card. There's no pair, so the side bet loses. Players get to check their cards again and place an optional river bet, which creates a second 3-card poker hand. Player 2 has not made a poker hand and loses their ante in turn. With their river card, they've hit a 2 of hearts, which makes a flush, and will be paid 2 to 1. Player 1 has also failed to make a 3-card poker hand and will lose their turn and ante. The river card is an ace, which gives them a pair of aces, which pays even money. This concludes the first hand. Players once again place their ante and optional side bet and receive their hole cards dealt face down. 2 communal cards are dealt and the flop is exposed. Once again, players check their hole card and make a decision to play by placing a turn bet or fold. The dealer now exposes the turn, no pair for the communal cards, so the side bet loses. Players now check their cards again. Both players have chosen the river bet to make their second hand. Player 2 has a pair of 9s. On their first hand, the river card, a 5 of clubs, has given them a flush. The flush pays 2 to 1. The original hand, a pair of 9s, is even money on the turn and even money on the ante. Player 1 has hit a straight on their first hand, 8, 9, 10. Their second hand, the river, they've hit another straight, 9, 10, jack, and will be paid 4 to 1 on both bets and even money on the ante. This concludes the second hand. The third and final hand, players place their bets and now receive their hole card dealt face down, along with the turn and flop. The dealer will now expose the flop card. Players get to check their hole card, decide if they'd like to play or fold. Player 1 has opted to fold. They will now lose their ante bet, but their side bet remains alive. The communal cards have paired, so player 1 will receive 10 to 1 for their side bet, and the card is removed. Player 2 decides to play the river. Dealer now checks. The side bet is now paid 10-1 and that bet is removed. Player 2's river card is a queen, making trips for the river hand. So the first hand is a pair of queens, even money and even money on the ante. The second hand is trip queens, which pays a 15-1. For further information, please visit harlowgamingconcepts.com.